Hey there, America! Breaking news that you need to know right now: the $2,900 stimulus payments are about to hit bank accounts across the nation. Are you one of the millions of Americans who receive Social Security, Ssdi, SSI, or VA benefits? Then this video contains critical information you cannot afford to miss. The deposits are scheduled to drop this Monday, and I want to make sure you're fully prepared when that money hits your account. Before we dive deeper into all the details about these payments, do me a quick favor and smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss any of my updates on stimulus payments, government benefits, and financial tips that could potentially put thousands of dollars in your pocket. So here's what's happening: banks across America are preparing for a massive influx of $2,900 stimulus deposits scheduled to arrive in accounts this Monday. This targeted economic relief is specifically designed to help Americans who receive Social Security Administration benefits, Social Security disability insurance, supplemental security income, and Veterans Affairs benefits. With inflation still putting pressure on everyday expenses, these funds couldn't be coming at a better time. But have you checked if your bank is ready to process these payments immediately? Not all financial institutions handle government deposits the same way. Let me walk you through exactly what you need to know about these deposits. First, the timing. While Monday is the official deposit date, some beneficiaries might see the funds hit their accounts earlier depending on their banking institution. Have you noticed that sometimes your benefits appear in your account a day or two before the official payment date? That's because some banks, especially online banks and certain credit unions, make government funds available as soon as they receive notification of the pending deposit. So keep a close eye on your account starting this weekend. Wouldn't it be nice to have that money available before everyone else? Now, what about eligibility? These $2,900 payments are specifically designated for beneficiaries who meet certain criteria under the SSA, Ssdi, SSI, and VA programs. The exact amount you receive may vary based on your specific benefit category and individual circumstances. But here's something crucial to understand: you don't need to take any action to receive these funds if you're already enrolled in direct deposit for your regular benefits. The money will automatically be sent to the same account where you normally receive your monthly payments. Isn't that convenient? But what if you've recently changed banks or aren't set up for direct deposit yet? Have you updated your banking information with the appropriate agency? Let's talk about potential delays, because this is something many viewers ask me about. While the vast majority of eligible recipients will receive their deposits right on schedule, there are a few situations that could potentially cause delays. For instance, if you've recently moved or changed banks without updating your information with the SSA or VA, your payment might be delayed. Similarly, if there are any discrepancies in your benefit status or if your financial institution has any processing issues, you might not see the funds immediately on Monday. Have you verified that all your information is current with the appropriate benefit agency? Taking a few minutes to check could save you days or even weeks of waiting. Something else to be aware of: these payments are part of a broader economic relief initiative, and there's been some confusion about how they relate to regular benefit payments. To be clear, this $2,900 stimulus is separate from your regular monthly benefits. You'll still receive your normal SSA, Ssdi, SSI, or VA payment according to the usual schedule this month. This additional stimulus is meant to provide extra support during these economically challenging times. But are you making the most of these combined resources? Have you considered how best to utilize these funds to address your most pressing financial needs? I've been receiving a lot of questions about taxation on these payments. Here's what you need to know. Generally speaking, these economic impact payments are not considered taxable income for federal tax purposes. However, I always recommend consulting with a tax professional about your specific situation, especially if you have other sources of income that might affect your overall tax picture. How many of you are already planning ahead for next year's tax season? It's never too early to start organizing your financial documentation, especially with these additional stimulus funds coming your way. Now, let's address a concern I've heard from many viewers: scams. Unfortunately, whenever government payments are announced, scammers come out of the woodwork trying to steal your information and your money. Please remember that legitimate government agencies will never call, text, or email you asking for personal information or payments to process your stimulus. They already have the information they need to deposit your funds. Have you received any suspicious communications claiming to be about your stimulus payment? If so, report them immediately to the Federal Trade Commission through their website. Protecting your personal and financial information has never been more important than it is right now. For those of you wondering about the spending deadline, there isn't one. Unlike some previous government assistance programs, there's no set time frame in which you must use these funds. They're yours to use as needed, whether that's for immediate expenses or to build up your emergency savings. Are you planning to spend this money right away on necessities? Or do you have the flexibility to save some of it for future needs? Everyone's financial situation is different, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach to managing these stimulus funds. If you're among those who receive paper checks rather than direct deposits, your timeline will be slightly different. Paper checks typically take longer to arrive, usually being mailed out in waves after the direct deposits are processed. The good news is that the government has streamlined this process based on lessons learned from previous stimulus distributions. Still, if you receive your benefits via paper check, you might need to wait an additional 1 to 2 weeks after the direct deposit date. Have you considered switching to direct deposit to receive future payments more quickly? The enrollment process is straightforward and can save you considerable waiting time. I've also received questions about whether these funds will affect eligibility for other assistance programs. For most government assistance programs, these stimulus payments will not count as income and will not affect your eligibility. This includes programs like SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, Medicaid, and housing assistance. However, it's always a good idea to check with your specific program administrators if you have concerns. Are you currently receiving benefits from multiple assistance programs? Understanding how different benefits interact can help you maximize the support available to you. Some viewers have asked about dependent payments, specifically, whether they'll receive additional funds for dependents as with some previous stimulus packages. Based on the current information available, this particular payment does not include additional amounts for dependents. It's structured differently from some earlier stimulus programs that provided additional funds per qualifying dependent. If you have dependents and are concerned about meeting their needs, are you familiar with other assistance programs specifically designed to support families with children? For those of you who bank with smaller local institutions or credit unions, there's something important to note. While major banks are well prepared for these deposits, some smaller financial institutions might take an extra day or two to process the payments. This isn't cause for alarm, it's simply a matter of different processing capabilities. Do you bank with a smaller institution? If so, you might want to contact them directly to ask about their typical timeline for processing government deposits. This $2,900 stimulus comes at a critical time for many Americans, with rising costs affecting everything from groceries to housing. These funds provide a much-needed financial cushion. Have you taken time to prioritize your expenses and create a plan for these funds? Even a simple budget can help ensure this money stretches as far as possible. As we wrap up, I want to remind you to keep an eye on your bank account starting this weekend and especially on Monday when the official deposits are scheduled. If you don't receive your payment by the end of next week and you believe you're eligible, don't panic. There are resources available to help you track your payment. The SSA, VA, and other benefit agencies typically provide payment tracking tools through their websites or phone systems. Remember, staying informed is your best defense against missing out on benefits you're entitled to receive. That's why I encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm committed to bringing you the latest updates on government benefits, stimulus payments, and financial strategies to help you navigate these challenging economic times. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our community of informed citizens who never miss out on the benefits they deserve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more updates that could put money in your pocket.